Today, on Beyond, she thought she was going crazy.
Hearing piano music in your head?
Yeah.
Your mother.
Oh my God.
Will James be able to name that tune? But first, Kathy's son Mitch was found dead one afternoon with a fatal gunshot wound to the head.
Police or the sheriff's office did an 8-month investigation and ruled it a spontaneous suicide.
But Kathy refuses to believe their ruling.
The person we have hired said this is not a suicide. In fact, I think I can quote him. He said, "This is not something your son did on his own." I just would like to know what happened. I'm not vengeful. I don't want retaliation. I just want some answers.
Using his extraordinary psychic ability to communicate with spirits, he's transformed lives by unlocking mysteries and sharing secrets from the other side. James Van Praagh, best-selling author, renowned medium, and your connection to the world beyond.
Hi, you are Kathy?
Yes.
Oh, Kathy James, nice to meet you. And you are Amy?
Amy,
Yes.
yes.
And your mother and daughter, is that right? And
Yes.
your son passed over, your brother, and the police ruled it a suicide, but you don't think so?
Correct.
Nor do I.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, I just feel that, okay? Let's see what happens if he comes through. But I don't feel it, I'll tell you right now. Okay. Your father also passed over?
Yes.
Because he has him.
Good.
Okay. There's also a lady here with your father. I'm not sure if it's his mother or your mother. Not sure. Wait,
Yes.
let me ask you, is it a sister of his, your father's sister passed over?
Yes.
Because that's where I want to go to.
Okay.
I want to go there because it's right next to him. Is there someone named, besides you, is there another Catherine or Kathleen or Kathy also in spirit?
Yes.
Who's that?
My mother's mother.
Okay.
Her middle name.
Okay. Well, she's connected to you in some way. She wants to
Yes.
say hello to you,
Yes.
and just as validation. And she said, "I hear you." She's telling me that you knew this was real if she came through and said hello to you.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Are there 3 of you in the family? You and 2 other siblings? Are there?
No.
Who has 3 in the family? Do you have 3 in your family, or
No. Yes,
I
you
miscarried.
did.
you miscarried? So there would be 3.
There would have been 3 siblings.
Okay. Was your son in college or college age?
He was 26, but not in college.
Had he been to college?
No.
Okay. Was there a thought about going back to school and studying something new or changing something?
No?
Okay. Hold on. You understand this?
That's me.
That's you.
Oh, the other kid.
Oh, the other kid. Okay. He's talking to me about like stopping college and going back for it, or going back and getting a degree or do something like this. That makes sense to you?
Yes.
He's talking to me about a bank. I don't know whoever worked in a bank or who did something with the bank. Got you. Yes. There's something about either refinancing something
Oh yeah, I'm always.
or financing something now or refinancing something. I don't know if it's a loan. Or I'm not sure if it's with you or with you. I'm not sure who this belongs to.
I don't know.
It's not familiar here.
Doesn't sound familiar to
No.
you. I don't know if it's with you. We wanted to refinance a loan or get a loan, but he's talking about financial or finance, and
Okay.
it's through a bank.
And it's positive.
Yeah. It's positive. It's not negative. It's positive. It's positive.
Good.
I also want to ask you: did he read the newspaper?
Yes.
Because he's like,
Cover to cover.
he shows me this big old newspaper, and I'm just like, details, going through all the details.
As a youngster, he didn't like schoolwork, didn't want to do the reading, the math, anything. So we finally allowed him to read the local newspaper out of Denver, and he would read it cover to cover. And I felt like that was his reading lesson.
Totally. He's showing me his newspaper, and he loves this. I'm going to ask if he has a nephew, a little nephew.
Yes.
Mine. Yeah,
That's
my
your
son,
boy. Okay.
Dylan.
He's a guide of his.
Yeah.
He's his guide.
they
He
speak
was
to
in
each
life,
other.
and he is now still. So he wants me to reconfirm that with you, that you are aware of the relationship they shared on the earth, and they also share it spiritually.
Yeah.
Okay? The little boy was looking at the clouds, and he said, I was with him, and he was looking up at the clouds, and his name was mentioned. Your brother's name was mentioned about up the clouds, and they were looking at the clouds. Do you remember this? And he's up there, he's talking to me about these clouds, this formation of clouds, and his name was mentioned. You remember this?
At Dylan's T-ball
Yeah,
game.
I know exactly.
You know exactly. Good,
Yeah.
good. Was he living with you at the time?
No.
Who was he living with?
He lived on his own.
I don't know about that.
Um,
Because I don't think so. I don't think so.
This is part of the mystery.
that's part
Well,
of it.
I don't see him living alone because I will tell you that he's telling me there are other people that were there and dropped by and left. There's also another male figure that stays at the house or stays at the place he's living in, if there was an apartment or something.
Yes.
And I want to, and wasn't it a two-bedroom?
Yes.
Yes.
We're talking about two-bedroom here. And I want to tell you that there's someone that comes and visits him or comes to see him. I know he didn't do drugs. I don't think he did drugs.
Correct.
But people around him certainly did, because this is what he's showing me, okay? I also feel as if there was someone that visited him within a month before he passed over. Are you aware of this? Like a friend that visited him and stayed with him for a little bit? You're aware of this, right?
Yes.
Okay. I understand. Did the police question him, this person?
Yes, they did.
Briefly.
Not to the extent that
That
we think they should have.
I agree with you. I agree with you. Because there's a friend involved here in something,
Yes.
okay? And Mitch is who? Mitch is Mitchell?
Just Mitch.
Mitch, who's that? That's your
That's
son?
my
That's your
son.
son, okay.
Brother and son.
Okay. Brother and son, right. Mitch, you called him Mitch.
Yes.
But I have the Mitchell. Maybe you're getting the Mitchell. I have the Mitchell.
Who's the Mitchell? Is that your son?
My son. My son.
You named him after your brother?
Dylan Mitchell.
Okay, but you named him after your brother?
Yeah.
Okay. Was he found in bed?
Yes. By Dad.
I want to tell you something. I feel with him, I feel there's a sense of choking at one point with him, and I really do feel this. I also will tell you, I just feel, I can't breathe, okay? I don't know, have you talked to the police about, have you had a toxicity report?
Yes.
What did it turn out to be? Nothing?
No, there was.
No, it was quite a bit.
Okay,
And way
good,
out of
good,
our
good.
ordinary.
He's talking about toxicity, and he said that word, toxicity report, okay? And I just feel like he ingested some things, and I feel like a combination of things is what did this to him. But I do feel as though it wasn't at his own hands necessarily. I feel there were other people there, what can we say? I mean, influencing him, or and I do feel somewhat responsible that someone else was influencing him for this. I really got to tell you, this is what he's giving me. And there's something about, he's told me about the evidence being that toxicity report. Seriously. I also think this person that sounds really weird, the person that visited him had some connections to drugs, whether it's a dealer of something.
Yes.
I do feel that he was a dealer of something.
And we're finding that later. Yeah.
Oh, you find that out?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
The reading with James will continue in a moment. And later,
Don't be surprised about getting married again.
is her father playing Cupid from beyond? The answer's coming up. Kathy's son and Amy's brother Mitch died a mysterious death. The police ruled it a suicide, but his family believes he was murdered. We now rejoin James in the studio.
He's talking to me about a parade. I don't know what this means. I don't know if there's a parade with a parade in his honor or somebody at a parade. And just so you know what this means, because I don't. Okay.
Hometown parade at annual
Okay.
parade.
And there was a banner with his name or something with him. Okay.
It's the golf tournament.
We hung the banner from the golf. We had a golf tournament, memorial tournament for him.
Okay. Well, he loved that, and there's a picture of him holding up a picture or something at this parade or at this.
Huge banner.
Okay,
we had.
at this event.
Yes.
And he's very thrilled with that. Was really thrilled with that. Did he also have a fireplace where he lived? A little fireplace?
Yeah, big.
Because he loved. Okay, the fireplace. All right. He loved the fireplace he's talking to me about, and he loved. Okay, and he loved logs, like sitting there enjoying the fire. He said one of the most relaxing times he had was in front of the fire, and he's got to give me this memory to give it to you. I think he wanted a baby.
Oh, bad. Yeah, he
I
wanted
mean, his
a
biggest
family.
thing he said was, "I miss having a baby," and he really wanted a baby.
He didn't want the wife, he wanted the baby.
He wanted. He said, "Yeah, exactly, exactly." He wanted the baby, and he says, "I missed having a baby," and that's his biggest regret.
One of our questions earlier to your staff was, we hoped that Mitch could indicate to us if we should continue our pursuit of the investigation, or, I mean, there have been so many roadblocks put up to us.
Let me tell you something. He's going to be a feeling that people are covering this up. And I said people from within are covering this. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
Okay.
All right? But I hope this information certainly helps you
Yeah.
and gives you more enlightenment to what's going on with him. Let you know he's here. He's with you. And so is your wonderful parents there, the father. Okay?
Good.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mitch.
Thanks, Mitch.
told me about the evidence being that toxicity report.
Is there any chance your son could have committed suicide in your mind?
No, absolutely
Why?
not.
Why are you guys so sure about that? He had a life path. He had goals, he had appointments, he had trips, he had concert tickets, he had a lot of obligations, and not really anything negative going on in his life.
Even though his death was ruled a suicide by self-inflicted gunshot wound, we believe through the toxicology report that there were drugs involved that may have caused his death and possibly a staged suicide.
He's going to be a feeling that people are covering this up.
There just seems to be roadblock after roadblock after roadblock set in front of us. However, we're determined to keep going, and James gave us that little bit of nudge again, the reassurance to maybe keep going and prove that it was not a suicide.
Tell me how you're feeling now after this experience, this reading.
Mitch has lived on his own since high school, and almost daily we would either speak by phone or in person. And for 19 months now, I keep watching for his truck to pull into the driveway or wait for the phone call. An experience like this is like he's called home. It's like we've spent the afternoon with him.
What a beautiful image. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you both. Thank you. I'm glad it was positive.
Next,
Hold on, as I fall off the stage. The spirit moved me, okay.
My mother
Bad
had
joke.
that effect on people.
Your family's really pushy, aren't they? Okay.
you'll be surprised why her family is so determined to push through. Next, on Beyond.
I want to come up here, this area over here. I want to come here. Did your dad pass over? May I come to you, please? What's your name?
Jackie?
Jackie. Is his sister still alive? Do you have a sister? Who has a sister in the family?
My parents?
Uh-huh.
Neither one.
Okay. Do you have a sister?
I have 3.
Oh, there we go. Your sister. Okay. I want to talk to your dad because your father's coming right here, okay? And there's also a lady coming in with him, but your mother's still alive, isn't she? No. Oh, she's passed over. Sorry. Okay. Hold on. Let me come here with you, please. Your father's funny. He's pushy. He's pushy. He's pushy.
Yes.
And he wants to make sure he comes in, okay? And he's pushing everybody out of the way. I want to come through. I want to come through. I want to come through. I don't know who Chuck or Charles is or was. The name Chuck.
A friend of his.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's also passed over, please? Yes. Because he's met Charles or Chuck over there in
Oh,
spirit.
you're kidding.
No, not kidding. And he wants me to tell you that. I don't know if you are in touch with Charles' family or you saw someone, a member of the family at all, but you will. So would you please pass the information that your dad's seen him?
Okay.
I also want to go to the water, and your father's told me about the water,
Yes.
and there's a connection with you and him and the family at the water, okay? Yes. He loved the water. He used to love to look at the water all the time, and his perfect way of relaxing and recharging is looking at the water. Yes. I don't know if there was also a house at the water or a place, like a getaway place that you'd go to.
We had a boat.
Okay. I love that. Your father loves that. I want you to think of your father on the boat near the water, and that's the memory he's trying to give you, that to let you know how he is. I want to ask you about, I don't know if one of your sisters remarried or there was a divorce with one of them?
I'm divorced.
You're divorced.
Yeah.
Okay. There was just that one marriage, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't be surprised about getting married again. Do not be surprised. There's a lot of love for you, my friend. Lots of love from your family. You have a lot of people over in the spirit world who are cheering you on, and it took a lot for you to get out of that rotten marriage, that situation, and your friends are trying to encourage you, and I think your siblings were also trying to tell you to get out of there. And I want to say,
Everybody was.
okay. Well, good for you. You finally did it. Your mom's talking to me, and she's happy to be alive, she said. She's happy to be alive, your mother.
I'm so glad.
She said, I'm happy to be alive. And she said, I'm very alive. And she's screaming, I'm very alive. And I think there was arthritis on her mother's hands, because when she said that, I saw like arthritic back of the hands.
Not
Very
too bad, little bit.
yeah. I see, and I think that she's very talented with her fingers, and would make things all the
yes.
time with her fingers. Very talented and
Yes.
very agile when she does things here. And I'm telling you, she's going back in and using her hands and fingers again. I don't know if she played a piano at one point here, or she wanted to, but there's a piano being shown right here.
She probably wanted to.
I see a white piano, okay? I want to ask you also if you know about hearing piano music in your head, or sometimes you just heard this song,
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
mother.
Oh my God.
She said she played you a song on the piano, and you heard it in your head.
Oh.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that great? I don't know if you have her watch. Who has her
My
watch?
sister has her watch.
Would you please find out if the watch stopped working, does not work, and I'm going to the 6. I'm not sure if it's 6:30 the hands are on, but something to do with a 6, okay?
Okay.
And it's a pull-on watch. There's also either land or property you own now. No?
No.
Are you looking for any property to own?
I would like to if I could afford it.
Hold on, as I fall off the stage. The spirit moved me, okay.
My mother
Bad
had
joke,
that
but-
effect on people.
Your family's really pushy, aren't they? Okay. There's someone that owns property or land. I'm sure one of your sisters does.
One of my sisters does. Yeah.
Okay, good. Because they've been helping, Spirit's been helping with that, okay? And I got to tell you that. There's going to be a sale on that land, so be aware of that. Tell your sister, okay? One more thing. Mother's sewing something. Showing me a lot of sewing here. And
Always
sewing,
sewed.
and that's how I would know her.
Yeah, she
Okay?
always sewed.
God bless you.
Yeah.
I'll leave you with that. Nice family.
Thank you. So much.
Your father's funny. He's pushy.
It seems James made a connection with your dad right away. For you, where was that moment?
Well, it started when he said he was a little pushy and had a sense of humor, because my father had a very dry sense of humor. My sisters and I always said we were raised on sarcasm. And what really hit the point was the water, because we lived back east, we lived on Long Island, and we boated, and he was in the Coast Guard Auxiliary, and that was just his favorite thing to do. He loved to go out in the boat, he loved to be on the water, and that's what really brought it home for me.
I want to ask you also if you know about hearing piano music in your head.
I can't tell you what the tune is, but every once in a while I would hear a tune running through my head. And I don't know what it is. I think my mother had a desire to play the piano. I don't know if she ever learned in her younger years or whatever. But yeah, when he said that, it's just, oh my God, because you know, you think you hear music in your head, that you're going insane or something. But yeah, that was kind of a validation. Well, she's playing music for me, that's nice.
Are you going to call your sister and find out about the watch?
Oh, definitely, absolutely, yes.
You're going to see if it stopped
I'm
on
going
a
to see if
number
it
six?
stopped on a number 6. Yeah.
Will you call us and let us know?
Oh, yeah.
Especially me, because
Yeah.
I always want to verify these
Yeah,
things.
I'm going to tell my other one she's selling her house too.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'm
Thank
glad it was
you.
a good experience for you.
But I do feel as though it wasn't at his own hands necessarily. I feel there were other people there, what can we say? I mean, influencing him and I do feel somewhat responsible that someone else was influencing him.
James, I just want to talk a little bit more about the reading you did with the mom and her daughter. She lost her son. The police said it was suicide, but they always suspected
Foul play.
foul play, exactly. And you said yes, you confirmed they're right.
Right. He came through, and the impression he gave me very strongly was that he was not responsible for his own death. And it was very, very strong. So I want them to go back with that information to the police and use it, hopefully to solve something.
Well, I saw that. I watched the reading, and my question is, how can you be so sure that the police are wrong? And how can you give them that kind of hope?
Because the work that I do is the messages I pass over from Spirit. It's nothing to do with me. It's what I'm hearing in my head and the feelings that I'm given. And I would not be doing my job if I did not convey those feelings and those words and those thoughts. So I'm really just conveying what he said. If he said that he committed suicide, I'm sure he would have come through with that.
Now, you were talking about the report that had something to do with it. Were you actually seeing that in your head?
He was giving the impression of a toxicity report, and what I saw in my head when he said that to me or gave me that was like a white piece of paper with black words, lines, and there were charts on it. And that's what I saw, and I saw it in a folder. And then I heard toxicity report on my head.
It's just,
It's another way. It's another way of communicating. I mean, that's how they communicate. They communicate very differently than we do in this dimension. They communicate very differently. So because bits and pieces of information, I convey that to the person.
Yeah. I know, it's just people are watching and going, James is a little nutty.
After this long on the show, I don't think so. I think more people have had experiences than they will ever admit to. A lot of people have it. So thank you for being with us today and experiencing us, and we'll see you next time. I want to ask, who does accounting work?
My father.
Thank
did.
you. He was an accountant?
Yes.
Okay, who has a safe deposit box or a lock box?
My father had a safe at work.
Okay,
And I used to play with his safe.
the combination? Okay. Did you come across that recently or something about this?
I was a little kid and I played. He said not to play in his office, and I was playing with his safe.
Safe, the combination.
And it was locked, and I just somehow was doing the dials, and I
You opened it?
opened the handle, and the safe opened.
That's weird. I was getting this whole thing about a combination with a safe and this sort of a thing.